G'day, hobbyists, and welcome back to the Hobby Podcast, the world's #1 TCG podcast that nobody ever asked for, where we cover everything from trading cards, pop culture, and everything in between. As always, I'm your host, Deano Making. I'm joined by the great man, the best beard on the Hobby Podcast. It is the Colonel. What's up, brother?
Man, you got me speechless to start. The best beard. It's unlike you to come out with a beard and say that I've got a better beard than
The Battle of the Beards. I went a little bit short on mine during the week, and I was just looking at it in the camera now, and I'm like, Kearnzy's got me covered today. Mine, you can see my skin again. I don't like it.
Bit of a temporary win for me, you reckon?
Yeah, definitely temporary. Definitely temporary. When mine's in full growth, it looks good. But I did go to the barber and I went, let's go with 2, see what it looks like. And then he went, brrr, and I was like, it's probably too late to move back to a 3, isn't it? So yeah, here we are. But what's been cooking? Good looking?
Man, I just want to say g'day to our hobbyists first and foremost. Make sure you like, comment, and follow the YouTube.
Subscribe, dude. It's subscribe.
Regardless of what it is, whether it's follow or subscribe, I'm just going to set a little reminder out there for everyone. Make sure you do, because when we hit 1,000 followers,
subscribers,
we are giving away this Prismatic ETB. What's the price on these at the moment?
Sitting about 200, but I reckon by the time we actually get to give it away, it'll be like $1,000 ETB.
Yeah, it's mental.
It's really not inspiring people to, we're getting thousands of views, but we've got like 650 subscribers.
Yeah.
Like, can 350 if you just click the damn button, please?
I don't even know what the motive to not follow there is there. So
I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe we're just washed up. Maybe we had a strong first 12 months and everybody's like, that was great. And now that we're, we don't have Mr. Beast's fiance on the podcast every other week or Gary Hayes hanging out with us, everybody's just moved on. Good news though is Gary's going to be back on soon because we are getting closer to Collectfest Melbourne. You will go over to the Luna Cards website. You can jump into the base set box break there. It's $1,000. You get a pack open live on stage with Gary. If you're there, you obviously get to come up, open it with us. You also get a Saturday, Sunday VIP pass as well. So huge value, record-breaking event, I'm going to say. And, that's pretty spectacular. So now we got all the formality stuff out of the way. What's been happening?
Man, it's been a huge few weeks since we've last filmed. The hands are fire from both of us at the moment. You finally reached a goal that you've been searching for the last 2.5 years. You sat there, cracked open a Lost Origin pack, and finally pulled the Giratina.
I did.
Dude.
I did.
Insane scenes there.
That actually rattled me more than I thought it would. Like, it was a big live stream on Thursday night for the midnight release of Destined Rivals. And I went live at 9 and we were just cracking some other packs, and I only had like 6 Lost Origin packs laying there. One of the customers bought it. It was like the 3rd pack of the night, and then bang, it just popped out.
It reared its little head.
Usually with Sword and Shield, you can really easily see when you open the pack if there's a hit in there. And I opened the pack and I couldn't see anything. So I was like, oh yeah, okay, cool. Let's just do what we do. Move the cards, bang, reverse hole out of the way, and boom, it was there. I was like stunned. I was like, what the hell?
You've been pulling some huge hits lately, and it's the first time I've seen your hands shaking after a hit for a while. That was one of the ones where you were visibly shaking after the hit, like on camera. So
I just didn't expect it. I'd sort of given up hope. I mean, I think the same thing will happen when I finally pull Altar Lugia from Silver Tempest, because that's pretty much the other one. I pulled Gengar VMAX, I'm pretty sure, from Fusion Strike. I think it was really just that. That's the Lugia has evaded me hard.
Yeah, the Giratina and the Gengar are the 2 that have evaded me so far. So
speaking of though, like we've had some massive nights on Whatnot, because you've been doing the Monday Night Mayhems, which is where we open anything but Pokemon, and you pulled a foil Philosopher's Stone from Sorcery, which is just unbelievable. The most painful thing is those boxes were from my sealed collection. So that was my foil Philosopher's Stone at some point, which is mildly devastating. But congratulations to VV that pulled it. They're going to absolutely enjoy that card. And then you pulled some other bangers as well. I can't remember what other ones.
Yeah,
you hit a hidden rare from MetaZoo as well, didn't you?
Yeah, so I hit the Piazza Bird hidden rare. On the same night, we pulled a alt leader Goku from FBO4.
No, you pulled the Bigfoot hidden rare. That's what you pulled.
The Bigfoot,
yeah. Because you pulled the Piazza Bird for yourself.
Yeah, that's right. So I've opened 3 boxes and pulled 2 hidden rares.
Yeah, that's nuts.
So that's pretty awesome. I also pulled the Great Library of Solana from Flesh and Blood from Monarch. So that was awesome. Disney Lorcana is the only one I haven't seen an enchanted yet on anything.
Evading you.
Yeah, anything but Pokemon. But the hands over there on Luna Whatnot, because we've been streaming 11 times a week.
11 times a week.
11 times a week over there. So
2 times a day, Monday to Friday, and then Sunday nights.
yeah. So if you're not into Pokemon and you're listening to this from the world of other TCGs, make sure you tune in because we do rip and ship everything on there, you know?
We do. We do. Except divorced dads. We haven't got our hands on any of that yet.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking?
It looks cool though.
Yeah, man. That was iconic. His reaction to pulling the house was just like,
bro.
It was 11 out of 10.
It's so funny. Especially, you know, like I'm not a divorced dad, but like you just like the stereotypes on those cards are hilarious.
Have you seen?
And you can hear you can hear our third co-host. He's having a ball today, Harry. So I do apologize in advance. He's getting very vocal and walking now. So.
Oh, it's the cutest thing in the world, mate. He can make as much noise as he wants.
He can.
On the divorced dads, there's another set that we should go out there. We should go and see if we can get some of the South Park Chim Pokemon set. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen the South Park one. I've seen these other like derpy variants and stuff.
Yeah.
They look really cool though. They look fun.
So when Pokemon first came out, South Park did a bunch of episodes on Pokemon. They called it Chim Pokemon. And it's the huge, like the rush to collect them all. And they're things like people's shoes and they're just like complete like mockeries of Pokemon. That would be so fun to open.
It really would.
I'm surprised you haven't seen it.
I haven't.
Yeah.
I've never been a real big South Park guy though.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
I watched South Park growing up and stuff, but it wasn't huge, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Religiously as a kid, I loved it. I mean, I still love it as an adult, to be honest. So
yeah,
that would be pretty good to open. But what do you reckon we get stuck into some news, Dino?
Yeah, I reckon we do it. Let's hit the news button.
Some Dean news. What is that? It's all about that's the Dean news.
We're not even going to cut that because we haven't recorded in like a month, and that just shows what happens.
Yeah, I know. And we also like do like next to no edits, so whatever. Let's just leave it in. Dino, what I'm going to hit you with is some Goldin Auctions to start us off. So coming in at $34,500, you've got
This US.
This is USD, which is 55 Oz, right? You got 2018-19 Panini Flawless Patch Autograph by SGA. Obviously, the NBA playoffs are on at the moment. OKC are going in against either the Pacers or the Knicks, which is looking like an awesome series at this time of filming. 3-2, Knicks are down. Going into Indiana.
Hopefully they can hold it, but I don't think they're gonna. I reckon they're gonna choke.
Yeah.
That's what the Knicks do. But I would love to see Knicks in an NBA Finals.
Yeah, imagine going back to the Garden for a Game 7. Like they show like the courtside seats at the Garden, and it's just like Timothée Chalamet, Kylie Jenner, like all the A-listers are out. Ben Stiller,
Kylie Jenner.
Spike,
keep her out of the A-list pile, bro.
Oh man, you can't. She's like the youngest billionaire ever. So
yeah, I suppose.
But yeah, that could look like an awesome series if the Knicks get through. I mean, the Pacers are good too. But 17 to 25 patch SGA. This is a PSA 10 pop 1.
I mean, all that said, it still just blows my mind that people will spend this amount of money on a sports card.
Yeah.
Because it's such a high risk, high reward sort of thing. You know, like when you look at some of the big sports cards like that are worth like millions, they're these really old baseball cards of great players that are either no longer with us or no longer play the game. So that kind of makes sense. Like even looking at like Kobe cards and stuff like that. These rookie patch autos and stuff of these young guys, like some of the money that gets thrown around for these cards, bro, it's so risky. Like it scares me.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like this kid goes out there and does his Achilles tendon, that $55,000 card's worth nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even
sure.
Big Vic, like so many people spend so much money on big Wemby cards that we've talked about in the past. Like he gets injured, you know, before he can become one of the greats. Those cards are nothing but paperweights, bro. Like, and it's big money stuff. Like it's risky business, but
yeah,
it's cool to see, cool to talk about. And they're good looking cards.
Yeah, well, I mean, this card sold 2 weeks before he got announced as the MVP. So you would say that the card...
you sell it now, it's worth twice as much.
Yeah, so you'd say the card's probably gone up a little bit, but a lot of people forget that SGA's rookie year was at the Clippers. So this is where, for me, if he becomes a championship player and wins an MVP at OKC, but the card is of the Clippers, it's not as like appealing to me.
Yeah.
You know, like a Jordan rookie is in a Bulls jersey.
That's because they, back in the day, they weren't as trampy. You know what I mean? They would go to a club and stay at a club.
Yeah. Now it's like the highest bidder wins kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, even though Jordan, retired, then came out of retirement and went to the Wizards. Like nobody really remembers that, but like Jordan and Kobe. That's why I think they're sort of in the upper echelon of the greatest of all time, as opposed to like your LeBrons, who probably started this whole I'm going to get traded to every single club and try and win them a championship because I'm going to make that my greatest of all time stat. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whereas Cobes, Lakers all day, every day, baby.
And now it's all about Luka. But the cool thing about this year's finals is it's kind of like a changing of the baton. So we're going to have either Bronson from the Knicks, we'll have Halliburton from the Pacers, or we'll have SGA, like, this young talent winning their first chip. So
yeah,
I kind of really like that. But that's a huge card, and anything that's a pop one, I suppose, over time, you just can't lose on. So
when you say that, be careful saying that because you can lose on a pop one.
Maybe. I don't know. If he keeps playing the way he's the free throw merchant, he'll be fine, I think. All right. So for $5,900, 2024 Bowman Chrome University Prospect Autograph. This is a black and gold stealth refractor of Cooper Flagg. So obviously there's all the controversy over there at the moment because Dallas ended up getting the number one pick with like a 0.5 chance, or it was a 1.5% chance.
It's like they knew that was somehow going to happen, so they got rid of Luka.
Yeah, it was like
because they knew that somehow this tiny little chance they were going to actually get the pick in the lottery somehow, so minute, and then get one of the greatest prospects in the last like decade.
Yeah, arguably like up there with Wembanyama.
Yeah,
but there's no superstar.
I rate somebody like an athletic build of Cooper Flagg more than Wemby. Now Wemby is phenomenal and he's proved that, but somebody of that stature and that build, his body isn't going to last nowhere near as long as Cooper's will. So that's the only reason why I said what I said before you decided to interject and be like, arguably Wemby.
Well, no, Cooper, I'm not sure if you remember before the Olympics, the US basketball team were doing a bunch of like run-throughs and they invited Cooper over and he's dropping like 18-5 against like NBA players.
Yeah.
Like this is last year.
Yeah.
So he's going to be fine. He's doing like Dirk fadeaways on like Kevin Durant and stuff. So, but this card is a numbered 6 of 24. It's a PSA 10 and it's a pop 2. I mean,
nice.
If you think about the real big basketball players that have gone, the Wembanyamas, Zion obviously had the same hype and has been relatively a flop in comparison to what he's doing at the moment.
Yeah.
He's still a good player, but I just don't see a world where Cooper Flagg's not that guy. I don't see it. And
especially not at Dallas.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of club where he can go, he's going to get like the king treatment. He's going to get everything he wants. He's going to live a happy life in Texas. It's a great state. You know what I mean? Like they're going to build like a championship team around him, which is why they bounced Luka, because Luka couldn't do it. But he's going to do it at the Lakers.
Maybe they play off. Maybe they play off in the Western Conference Finals
Can you
next
imagine?
year.
That'd be huge, bro.
Healthy AD, healthy Kyrie, like Dallas look legit. Dallas look real legit.
That'd be wild.
$2,478. I've got a signed magazine. It's got 5 signatures on it. It's got Luka, Victor Wembanyama, SGA, and it's got 2 others on there, which I didn't write down. So that's awesome. So that's a good read on my end. But
yeah, nice.
But it's a signed magazine with all these players that we're literally talking about on the same mag. The magazine looks like unbelievably cool. PSA authenticated. Good buy. I like it. I'm into it.
Yeah. I don't know. Seems like a waste of money, if you ask me.
Doesn't do it for you.
Nah.
Wow.
Not into it. That's not for me.
It's got Giannis on there as well. And it's got...
Giddy's on there too, which is cool, but like...
Giddy's the only one that's not signed.
I don't care.
It's not your thing.
Yeah.
Signed on a card, awesome. Signed on a magazine, not interested.
I think it's just the way that magazine cover looks. I don't like it.
Okay. Well, let us know in the comments, guys. Do you collect anything out there that is signed that's not cards? We've seen signed guitars, different figures and stuff like that. Let us know. Because Dino's not impressed, doesn't like the front. I think it's cool. So let us know what you think. For $941, I've got a 2024 Leaf Electrum red, white, blue autograph, Sylvester Stallone, Hulk Hogan, dual signed card. This is numbered 5 of 5. It's a PSA 9 pop 1.
Where's the Hulk Hogan part of it?
No idea.
Like, I'm looking at it right now, and yeah, it's like it's signed by them both. That's their two signatures. That's the Sly signature at the top under Electrum, and that's Hulk Hogan's beneath it. But where is he on the card? Is that his face at the back where it's red? I don't know.
Hidden. That is actually really weird,
I
isn't
don't
it?
understand the point of that. Like, why are they both there?
That's probably why it went for $941, to be honest.
Everybody else is like, the F is this?
Look, imagine if it's just like a label, like incorrectly labeled. You know how I've got that Flesh and Blood cold foil that's only a rainbow foil, Crown of Dominion. Maybe it's an error. That's actually so intense. I didn't even notice that when I was going through the notes.
That's so nuts.
Anyway, Sylvester Stallone, biceps look good. He's locked in at the moment. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah. All right, well, let's finish with something we know then. Something that we know the cards, we know the grades, we can see that. It's a set of 3 for $320. You've got your Neo Revelation.
$320 US, man, because that seems cheap.
Yeah, $320 US. So
that's $600.
It's a Suicune, Entei, and Raikou, CGC 8, 7.5, and a PSA 8.
All from Neo Rev, yeah.
All from Neo Rev. First appearance of the dogs. Great looking cards.
Seems cheap.
Yeah,
I would have bought that.
That's a good pickup. Because what's that in Oz? About $500.
Yeah, $500 to $600, somewhere in there.
That's good. Get them, crack them open, put them in a binder. Huge win.
Well, at least get them, maybe crack them open and regrade them sequentially and get them out of these CGC slabs or get them out of the PSA slab, either way. But like, that's the biggest thing, having them graded. And they're old labels from CGC. So that 7.5 is actually an 8 and the 8's probably still an 8. But they're still the old blue labels as well.
Unless the grader has a really nice dinner and 8 hours sleep the night before and it gets a 9.
You never know, man. You never know.
But yeah, where do the dogs rank for you, Deano, in terms of legendary trios?
I like the dogs.
You like the dogs?
I like the dogs. In terms of legendary trios, though, maybe 4th.
4th.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd probably go, obviously, Rayquaza Ground on Kyogre is 1.
Oh, they're
the best legendaries.
Yeah, but they're...
No. Let me finish.
Go.
They're the best legendaries. Then I would go Zekrom and Reshiram because I froth them.
Right.
Then I would go the 3 birds, Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres.
Okay.
And then I would go the dogs.
Interesting. Okay, so that's really high because you've gone for the whole legendaries. You're not like comparing Regirock, Regice, Registeel, or the birds. You're like, collectively, these are where my legendaries sit.
Well, I feel like, you know, that was the question you asked.
Yeah,
So-
I was comparing it to like the birds, Regirock, Regice, Registeel, the Me Spirit, you know, those 3
Yeah.
little ones. Like,
Yeah.
Because you got
And
Mewtwo,
you've got Maridon, Coridon from, you know, Scarlet Violet.
Cobalion,
Yeah.
all those. Okay.
Yeah. You got all that stuff. So, yeah.
I think that's fair ranking. I think I put Lugia and Ho-Oh above them. I'd probably go,
Yeah, you would. That makes sense.
I'd probably go Lugia and Ho-Oh first,
I didn't actually think about them.
and Mewtwo and Mew.
If I did, they don't count.
They don't count.
They don't count.
Okay.
Like, you got to think about it, right? Like, in the game, it's hard though. But like, you know, legendary trios were kind of like, you know, because some would argue that, you know, the 2 legendaries from Gen 3 are technically Kyogre and Groudon. And then you've got like Rayquaza's like the extra one, like the one from the sky. You know, the story's more about the other 2. So, whereas in Gen 1 and Gen 2, it was definitely trios, like 100% trios. It was the 3 birds and then the 3 dogs. And then it was, you know, Ruby and Sapphire.
Yeah.
And then later was Emerald. It was kind of like how, I was thinking about this the other day. I can't remember when I was thinking about, but for like Gen 2, you had Gold and Silver, which is Ho-Oh and Lugia, and then you had Crystal, which was Suicune, but never had anything for Raikou or Entei.
Yeah.
So like, are they the legendaries?
Yeah. You reckon you split up the 3 dogs?
Well, see, now that's like the question, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, because I totally forgot when I was just looking for like generation legendary trios. And then you said Lugia and Ho. I'm like, oh shit, hang on, wait, they're like the actual Gen 2 legendaries.
Yeah.
Not the dogs, but the dogs are legendaries.
Yeah, good shout. Yeah, it's almost like they realize, like, oh, if we're going to do a 3rd expansion, we need to make sure there's 6 of them, not 5.
It's like, yeah.
That's
like let us know in the comments as well. Like how do you rank legendaries? Does Mew and Mewtwo count as legendaries? I mean, I guess they do.
Yeah, they're like bundled together.
I guess my thinking of it was more based on Game Boy games.
Okay.
Because the legendaries were always, well, not always, because they weren't for the bloody red and blue either. God, this is a wormhole I didn't think we were going to go down. Rabbit hole.
I love it, to be honest. So if you're sitting there with your rankings, are you ranking Groudon, Rayquaza, and Kyogre higher than Ho-Ho, Lugia, and the 3 dogs?
As groups?
Yeah, as
groups, yes. As individuals, no. I would definitely rank at least Ho-Oh higher than Groudon and Kyogre.
Right.
But Rayquaza would still be at the top. But if we're grouping them, then yes, obviously Rayquaza, Kyogre, and Groudon are the greatest legendaries they ever made. You can't tell me that they're not. Like, realistically, when you look at their art and their cards and their shiny variants, their mega variants, like, they're way better. Way better than Lugia, at least.
Man, I love how you
that's
fish.
fighting
You're fishing there. I'm not biting. I've just got the image of like people sitting at home watching this, and it's just that meme of like all the mathematics going on our heads right now. Like, which one is better? Like, it's like all these formulas.
Speak of JP, add that in right now.
Formulas and calculations. Like, goddamn, which one's higher? But yeah, that's my Goldin Auctions.
We really need to do that at some point. Because I remember you spoke about it on Whatnot, and then I spoke about it on Whatnot. And one time we need to sit down and actually, like, officially, we'll do a whiteboard video. We've got a whiteboard here, and we'll draw on it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe we could do it live. List. Maybe we could do it live on the YouTube, so we could have comments while we're doing it.
We could. Too. We did say at some point we were going to do a live stream.
Yeah, so we could do it live, and we could do our rankings with the hobbyists at the same time as doing that. That's not bad.
Leaves me open for a lot of scrutiny, but that's okay.
Oh man, I mean,
I will get scrutinized because I have no fear of my opinion, so I know where I've already got scrutinized in the Whatnot chat. You were the worst though. We were talking about top 10 Pokemon, and you just refused to put Rayquaza in there because you know I love him, and I know you did that out of spite because it is a top 10 Pokemon. It's in every top 10 list ever made. Yeah,
I'm not sure if you realized too. I put things like Gyarados and everything that's really similar to Rayquaza in there as well.
You put Lapras in there over Rayquaza. You were fishing, man, and I did bite. You
want anger in the comments. The fact that you just talk down on Lapras, man, like one of the fan favorites, they're going to come for you hard.
Yep.
Lapras is iconic.
We got a lot of news to get through, so let's quickly jump into Disney Lorcana. We haven't touched on it for a while, but there's a lot happening in that space. They've introduced set rotation. Now that they're looking at their 11th expansion coming out, Fabled, Reign of Jafar just dropped. Oh no, it must be their 9th expansion. They've done 4 sets every year. So that now means when Fabled comes out, which is set 9, you can no longer use the first cards from the first 4 sets to play. So that's a big deal for the players out there in terms of rotation. Be interesting to see how that kind of affects box prices and stuff like that. But I still think, you know, with a lot of games anyway, the box price is usually dictated by the collectible chases that are within that, not so much the playable cards that are in that. I mean, that's definitely the way it is with Pokemon. And you see it a bit with One Piece. Like the anniversary sets, the sets that have like bigger chase cards, they usually always do better.
Yeah. And rotation's really common too through TCGs. Lorcana's probably taken a little bit longer than things like Pokemon because their rotation of cards is almost yearly, isn't it? For playables.
Yeah, but you got to get to a certain point to introduce it. So like One Piece has also just introduced it as well. You know, you need to run for a couple of years and get a certain amount of sets out before you can really shake it up with rotation. But the Reign of Jafar looks cool. It's got 18 enchanted cards. It's probably some of the best that we've seen. And I think you were telling me the style of those enchanted cards, it's meant to basically be like Jafar is looking through his hourglass. You know how he's got his hourglass where he like sort of creeps out and checks on everyone.
Yeah, for sure. He's got his creep on this set for sure.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. It's probably the best looking set I reckon I've seen, that they've done. It's pretty banging, but it is the precursor to Fabled, which is, set 9, and it's going to shake everything up. It's introducing new rarities for the first time for Lorcana. It's been pretty stock standard since it came out, but they're introducing 2 new rarities. One is epic and one is iconic. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that, they don't just sort of chuck them in right on the end. So, you still got your common, uncommon, your rare, your super rare, your legendary slot. Then after legendary, it was always enchanted, but now it's going to be epic, then enchanted, and then iconic.
Yep. So those epic cards are effectively half enchanted. So the top half of the card is like a regular enchanted, bottom half is like a normal card.
Yeah, because the enchanted used to be full arts. This now reintroduces the text box, but still has that full art image up the top. And I'm assuming we'll have the enchanted foiling like they normally do.
And then the iconic, there's only 2 cards. We've only had one announced so far, which is the Mickey Mouse. And
it looks phenomenal.
And it is like, there's also talked about embossing and like lots of texture on these cards. So these,
I would liken it to the style of, say, like One Piece mangas. How they're like really high chased cards, usually like one in a case if you're lucky, like that kind of rarity pool. And yeah, it just adds this another whole echelon of collectability. Because I would say enchanteds weren't too hard to get. But obviously, they've sort of looked at it and gone, all right, well, they're collectible, but they're not like highly collectible because they're not that hard to chase. So it's like, all right, well, let's introduce 2 new levels where one is a little less than enchanted. You've still got enchanteds, and then one's a little higher. I think it's a genius move by Ravensburger. It'll be interesting to sort of see how it goes. And I haven't opened any Lorcana since set 5, which was Shimmering Skies, which is when I kind of stopped playing. I ran out of time. Unfortunately, I'm very time poor. But I will definitely be looking to open a box, at least one box of Fabled, and make sure you've got some for stream anyway, because I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see what it looks like. And I dare say that Mickey Mouse iconic rare, the first one that's going to be in this Fabled set, will definitely be like a long-term chased card.
Yeah, it'll be the same as the Elsa from the first set. It'll be right up there with that for sure. There's also reprints as well in Fabled. So it's the first time that they're reprinting playable cards from sets 5 to 7, I believe they are.
Do you know why they're doing that?
To make playability more accessible?
Because of rotation.
Because of rotation.
So what they've done, this is the way rotation works. They're banning the use of cards from sets 1 to 4. So then they're going to pick out cards that still fit within what they're going for, that are like kind of staples, and they're going to reprint them. So they're not just like ruining the entire game and saying you can't use any of these cards. We're going to do some reprints of cards from those first 4 sets in the new sets, so that way they're still managing all their R&D. That's why they do that.
That's fair. That's smart. I saw they've also taken on feedback as well. There's some cards that are really popular in those early sets where people are like, oh, this would have looked great in an enchanted, like the Winnie the Pooh card.
Yeah.
And now they're doing an enchanted version of that as well. So that's a real tip of the cap to, Ravensburger listening to the collectors and the players out there. And the Winnie the Pooh card looks insane.
The other thing they need to do is get their online client going, because they shut down that amazing one that was out there. I think it was like, I can't remember what it's called, like Inkborn or something like that. And they sent him a cease and desist, and we all assumed, all right, sweet, well, Ravensburger or whatever is going to drop one, in a couple of weeks, and they still haven't. Yeah. It was a very, very bad move on their behalf. Because, we don't run like a play scene at our shop for it. Just because, the demand for us to do that isn't there. So we haven't created that space. And I think that has something to do with, the lack of online ability to be able to play the game.
Yeah, for sure. Before we move on from Lorcana, I just want to go back to Reigns of Jafar for 1 second. I want to call out my 3 favorite enchanteds from this set, because you mentioned before there's 18 enchanteds, but like these enchanteds look awesome. It's probably the strongest set in terms of enchanteds from 1 to 18 we've seen. So Mushu, your worst nightmare, insanely cool looking card.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love Mulan? That's something that I will get at some stage. Captain Hook, the Pirate King.
Yeah.
Another strong card. Like, for me,
they've definitely leaned into villains in a set that's obviously based around probably one of the biggest.
Absolutely, which is perfect timing for me to bring up the most anti-villain card of all time. It means no worries. Umba, Timon, Simba, Rafiki. But these 3 cards here are my favorite 3 enchanters.
That is a banging card. JP's obviously probably already put it up here somewhere because that card just looks phenomenal. Like the It Means No Worries one. Like you look at it and you can't help but feel happy and then even start singing the song.
I know. It's so good. But these 3 cards I will 100% own within a few months of the set coming out. They will be added to the PC for sure.
Nice.
But Disney Lorcana on the comeback.
All right, well, we better talk about Flesh and Blood though, Kearns, because it is making waves in the TCG world at the moment for many reasons. But the biggest wave at the moment, my friend, and by no like forced segue there, it is called High Seas.
It is making waves. It's officially just dropped now. High Seas.
When's pre-release? Tomorrow, today, this weekend.
Pre-release was tomorrow, the first.
When
does
it release?
Well, actually, technically, it was 2 days ago. It was the 29th. But
is pre-release for Flesh and Blood just release weekend?
Pretty much. There's no difference between it.
Because how Pokemon pre-release is genuinely 2 weeks before the product actually releases.
Yeah,
this is not like that.
Nah. So it was 2 days ago. The first pre-release or the first release happened of it. But this is a really, really special set. I'm going to tell you why. You've heard me speak multiple times and hear about how I love the cards and I'm a collector and all that stuff. So James White, the creator of Flesh and Blood, has put 60 of his own cards from his private collection into the product as chasers. So booster boxes are still packs of 24. You get 23 normal packs and then you get a gold pack, which is called a collector's pack. This pack, you have the chance to pull 1 of 1s or 2 of 2 cards that James White has collected from the start of Flesh and Blood. So the hits in here aren't from High Seas. The hits are like sketch arts and drawings and prototypes from sets 1 right up to set 7 that you can hit.
But surely that's not all that's in there. Are there not just High C cards in there as well, though?
Yeah, so you've got there's some regular promo cards. So they're either 3 or 4 pack.
Because they would have to fill 80% of them with just meh. And then 20% of them have all these banging chases in them or whatever, right?
Yeah, so there is promos and there's some hits from the new set, but the really big chases, well, there's actually 2, to be honest. You're right. I totally misworded that at the start. The big hits are the James White exclusives.
Yeah, and his personal cards.
So far, we've seen 1 hit so far, which is a great library of Solana. There's only 2 of them in existence, and James put them both into the set. One of them's been hit in North America so far. Insane. Price on these minimum.
Why would he do this? Why
it's
High Seas?
Because it's a treasure hunt. It's all about pirates. It's all about finding the lucky bounty.
There you go. All right.
So you're out there searching for the lost treasure, me hearty.
Oh God. That's a real.
But we'll get some of the photos and share them too of what these cards are, because James White actually went on and kind of showcased the cards.
Here's a picture
first.
right now of the amulets. Look at these.
Yeah, so
these are phenomenal. Even I want these. These are banging.
So this brings me to the amulets. So this is hits from the new set. See, only the second time that we've seen numbered release cards put into a set. So there's 9 amulets. That whole sapphire lost at the sea necklace type thing. There's 9 variants. There's only 100 of each printed. So I don't know. I don't know the print run of booster boxes, but to know that there's only 900 of these amulets in the world. That is a huge, huge chase.
Yeah, and I want them.
They look so good. I don't know.
I don't even care about Fab. Well, that's not true. I do care about Flesh and Blood. I like it. I do like it. I want to hate it because people like it when we don't like the same stuff. Yeah. But I do like it. I do like it. And these amulets look cool. They look cool. It's something that if I owned, I would display and I would look at it and just go, look at those. Look how pretty they are.
Yeah, they're awesome. So I was
a little disheartened when you told me this morning there's only 900 of them. I was like, damn it, Kearns. Why would you show me these and then drop that bomb on me? Yeah. Why would you let me fall in love with them first and then tell me, oh, yeah, by the way, they're going to be super expensive and super rare and super hard to find? Oh, thanks, mate. Cheers, bro.
Yeah, I know. It's tough.
What are best mates for? Yeah, that. Ruining your life.
I've been talking to someone that has pulled the first one here in Australia, and offers have already started at about $700-800. So,
that's not bad. I might shoot him a DM and go, give you $1,000. Sell it now. Don't muck around. Otherwise...
Offers off the table.
Offers off the table, mate.
And then you missed a Christmas present for me last year, so you could just package that one up nicely and put it under the tree for me.
That would be a Christmas present last year?
That would be huge. It's not the point. The point is you didn't get me one.
All right, we'll do that. We'll do that on the Christmas episode this year. We'll do KK.
I love that. I can't wait to get my amulet. You're the best. You're the best co-host in the world. But yeah, do you know what the interesting thing about this is though? Is it has changed the mindset a little bit within the Flesh and Blood community. So I've told you in the past that Flesh and Blood is highly player driven and not so much collector. That's what's enabled me to be able to grow my collection so quickly, because the value in the collector product isn't as high as what's in playables. You could pull just a generic mythic card that's super playable and it's $150. You pull a case hit and it's like $7,500. Like straight trade and I'm up $50. I'm happy to do that every day of the week.
Yeah.
But what we're seeing is a lot of LGSs, specifically around North America, have decided to not sell the product and instead they're just opening it all for themselves, because they're going to open up, sell the singles out in the chance that you hit one of these James White cards or one of these pendants.
I kind of hate that though.
It's not good. It's not good in terms of like for people getting access to products.
Yeah, but like obviously a lot of the players probably won't care, but like somebody like me who you've now piqued my interest and I'm like, I'm a collector. I like a good chase. I want to open that product, but then no one's going to sell me a box because all the shops are going to break them down and they're going to get it and then they're going to, sell the cheese. Like, that's frustrating.
Yeah.
That said, I do have a box. That's how you know Flesh and Blood has become collectible. When Dean Alsop has bought a box.
He's gone in.
I have a box. Kearnzy don't even have a box yet.
No.
I have a box.
Pre-releases until tomorrow.
Yeah. I was showing him before. I'm like, here, you want to see my box? Look at this.
Don't annoy me, man. I'll go rip it. I'll rip it right now.
I've got 4 Flesh and Blood boxes now. The 4 sets that I deem have collectible cards in them. So the boy's a fab guy too.
The other thing that has made it really interesting is in the past, Flesh and Blood booster boxes, in terms of demand, they've been readily accessible for people to pick up, but people are finding it really hard to get product at the moment. So here in Australia, booster boxes normally cost about 125 AUD, but recommended retail is more than that. I think it's 160 a booster box.
It's supposed to be, yeah.
Supposed to be 160 a booster box.
Nobody's ever paid that as long as we've been selling Fab. We've always had to sell it at like this 120, 125 price.
Yeah.
It's been very, very frustrating because, we've spoken to the community a few times actually and been like, we need you to pay more so we can keep supplying you the amount of product that you want and putting on these events that you want.
Yeah,
and to their credit, we were able to increase it by like $10 a box.
Yeah.
But I'm hopeful as a business owner at some point we can at least sell it for a recommended retail price. It kind of reminds me of Pokemon in the bear markets where you've got to sell booster boxes for like $180.
Yep.
And now people are like, oh, I just want to buy a booster box for RRP. It's like, well, why don't you want to buy it for RRP when the market's not booming? It's that same age-old argument. It's an interesting one.
Yeah. But the interesting thing about these pendants and these James White cards is all the players now are looking at it going, oh, I think I want to collect a little bit as well as play.
Yeah.
So secondary market on Fab for this at the moment is about $180 a booster box.
Mad.
So people see that.
Still very affordable in the current TCG climate.
Extremely affordable in comparison to things like Pokemon and stuff. But it's the first time we've seen like this. It's a bit like the Magic the Gathering, right? Like remember how everyone was like shitting on collectors boxes, and now collector boxes are up through the moon for Magic, right?
Yeah.
It's a little bit like that where people are looking at Fav going, oh, there's more than just playability here. Yeah, I want a box. That gold pack, like you could pull a $5,000 card from that. Like there's maybe even higher. If you pull like there's one of one Marvels that he's shown that could fetch $25,000 without a doubt in my mind. So $180 on the booster box in the secondary market, like you wouldn't have that a year ago in Fab.
No.
It would be no higher than like 130, 140.
No, this market's been good to Fab and our good friend over at Alpha Investments, good old Rudy Folks. He talks about it all the time.
That was good. if I wasn't opposite you right then, that was pretty good. But yeah, so high seas. Oh, I'm so excited for it. It looks good. If you come on down to Luna Cards and want to play Flesh and Blood, I'll always be there every Sunday. So
he'll teach us.
Hobbyists, come down. Our good, my good mate Lachie, Ogerperdon over on Whatnot. First time I met him, came down. First time played Fab. He's not going to miss a week now. So shout out to Lachie out there. I thought you were going to push.
I was going to push a
You're
button. I was going to push a button, but I didn't want Lachie to assume it was for him, so I didn't do it.
Fair enough.
So we'll let that one slide. All right, Pokemon news, bro. There's so much news. Destined Rivals, baby. We crowned it the greatest set of all time. And now, after opening over 600 packs myself on Whatnot, I will hands down say I was right. It is literally the greatest set of all time.
What a experience opening. So firstly, let's talk about the hit rates, because
They're banging.
hit rates are on. Obviously,
They're just right. The hit rates are just right. The amount of SIRs, IRs, the set number for chasers, the artworks that they've picked, everything is just right. And it's hard to compare. You can't compare it to Prismatic. It's a holiday set, right? We know booster boxes have ratios in terms of hits. But look at Journey Together being a smaller set. Only 6 IRs. This is where it needs to be. They need to now look at Destined Rivals and go, blueprint done. That's it. We hit the mark. Everybody loves it. It's perfect. Nailed it. Smashed it. Like, it's game on.
Yeah, 100%. We spoke about the top end cards in this set and how there's like 8 cards, right, that are usually spread out maybe 2 a set, and you get 8 in here. And after opening all the product, seeing product open at midnight releases, it looks like the hit cards are about 1 in every 2 booster boxes.
Yep.
So we've gone from 1 hit in every 6 booster boxes to 1 in 2.
Yeah.
Whether it's the Crobat, the Nidoking, the Mewtwo, the Moltres, the Ho-Oh, the Ethan's card, like
Yep.
1 in every. If you're opening 6 booster boxes and you get 2 or 3 of those, you are stoked.
Yeah.
Not to mention the Misty Psyduck, the Blaziken, all that. I can say
Houndoom,
Houndoom.
bro.
There wasn't a single face, or there hasn't been a single person I've spoken to that has been upset with this.
Nobody's had a bad time.
And this is exactly what Pokemon needed after horrible pull rates, struggle to get product. This
product seems to be available compared to previous sort of, examples. And I did say that. I said that I thought it would be, just in terms of printing. I felt like there was this. It's based on when the bull market started. This kind of fits the bill, and it's going to be like black and white. I'm telling you, there will be a lot of black and white product. There will be a lot.
Yep. For sure.
Whether it meets demand or not, I'm not saying it's going to be sitting on the shelf and discounted, right? That's bear market stuff. We're not there yet, but people will be able to get black and white, Black Bolt, White Flare for sure. Just like they can Destined Rivals, like even us, we had a massive midnight launch event, and then yesterday we didn't have much, but there was like 20 3-pack blisters and like 20 check lane blisters and like 20 single booster sleeves that we were able to just hang on the wall. And when people walked in, they were able to come and pick them up and buy something and actually get something. We limited to 2 per person. It was great. They were gone by the end of the day, but it's the first time we were able to, after a midnight event, actually still have some stock on the shelf. Because obviously booster bundles and ETBs were delayed, so we didn't get any of those for the event. It was just all those blisters and booster boxes.
Yeah.
And I shredded 500 packs on Whatnot, which was wild. It was so much fun.
Yeah, that was a big day.
Yeah, it would have been 13 booster boxes worth, and we pulled 9 SIRs. So that kind of gives you an idea of the pull rates. It's like 75% chance.
Well, yeah, you had a really good run.
Well, these hands have been disgustingly hot. Like in that 24-hour period, I pulled like $10,000 worth of cards at least.
Yeah,
pulled a Sightseer from Tag Team GX. Pulled the Giratina Altart. Pulled all those Destined Rival SIRs. I pulled something else as well. I can't remember what it was, but it was just mental. It was just going off.
Going before we move on, going into the set, from memory, the Ho-Oh was your biggest chase of the set. You thought that was the best looking card.
Yep.
After you've opened the product now and you've seen them all, which one's your favorite?
Probably still the Ho-Oh. I didn't pull the Garchomp myself, but I saw it. I think I've seen them all in person. I pulled the Moltres for myself, which is also really, really nice. But I think aesthetically in hand, I think that Ho-Oh is hard to top. Like, it just looks so good. Ethan's Adventure as well, though. I pulled that too. That SIR is really, really nice as well. Got the Pichu, the Cyndaquil, and Totodile, someone else on there. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But it's a beauty. It's nice. It's just a good set, man. It just feels good. Yeah. Like, I was selling 4-pack bundles, and I'd say 70% of the time you would pull an EX and an art rare, you know, and then somebody would hit an SIR and an art rare, somebody would hit nothing, you know, but it was a good spread.
Yeah.
Like you only 25% of the time going through 4-pack bundles did somebody like lose.
Yeah.
So that's a good feeling. Whereas Prismatic was the opposite. Prismatic was just hot trash.
Yeah.
To open, I hate it. Like I haven't opened it for ages on stream. I just refuse to. I just don't want to.
I got to have a really cool experience as well. One of the listeners and followers on Whatnot.
Baileybol. Bro, before you do though, he got rinsed yesterday.
Oh, did he?
During the day, I think he bought 4 or 5 bundles and every single one had no hits. It was always massive hit before or massive hit after. And it became a meme in there. Like Bailey would buy one and then the next one would sell for more because they were like, all right, well, Bailey bought this one. There's going to be nothing in it. So somebody would buy the next one.
Oh, brutal. I didn't know that. I'm about to set the layup for the guy that I've got to the rim and you've just rejected the shit.
I told him, I said on stream, I'm like, man, Kearnzy just milked you last night. He drained all of your good luck. He's ruined you because he had a massive midnight launch, right?
Yeah.
Which is, I'm assuming, what you're about to tell us.
Yeah, so I got to meet Bailey for the first time, and I was standing over his shoulder, and it was really cool. There was the option, like people were buying English and Japanese as part of the bundles at the store, and Bailey kind of struck out on his first 10 packs and was like, I think I need to go again. I'm like, all right, man, I'm in your corner. Like, let's do it. I'm like standing over his shoulder. We're like, you know, giving all the luck. Japanese packs opens up Moltres SIR first. Huge,
card.
Awesome looking, best looking. I think it's the nicest SIR in Japanese is the Moltres. And then gets through, opens up the Cynthia's Garchomp from English. So within 10 packs, pulled 2 SIRs. It was nuts. Like everyone's going nuts there, which was awesome. But after seeing the cards, because I'm not sure if you remember, for me, the Cynthia's Garchomp was my chase.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the nicest card.
It is phenomenal.
Yeah, and it is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. It's still an amazing card. But after seeing the Mewtwo in person, that is my favorite looking card.
It's bloody unreal.
The Mewtwo
is unreal.
Yeah.
It's unreal. We said it. I knew this set was going to be good. And it's going to remain good. It's going to remain wanted to be opened. It has so many chases. If Evolving Skies can be carried by an Umbreon, then this set into the future will be carried by like 5 SIRs.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Like it is just bang on.
Yeah, it's no disrespect at all to the others because the other one is the Nidoking. It's the only one I haven't seen in person yet.
Same.
The only one I haven't seen in person. That's probably the one that interests me the most.
Even the Mabo Stiff looks sick. And the Yan Mega.
And the Crobat.
Dude, the Yan Mega. I pulled the Yan Mega and I was like, I want this.
Yeah.
I was like, I want this. I want this card. Like it just looks, it's like just jetting over the water and the texture on it like kind of follows that. It's just, oh, bro.
Yeah.
What a set.
Yeah, it's great. It's phenomenal. I don't know. I might have to go into the cupboard and sell some stuff to go buy some more if I can because it's a cool experience.
It is, man. I think I'm just going to buy the Yan Mega. I'm going to wait for somebody to come into it within the store. I want it in a PSA 10 just to put in my like non-Rayquaza collection. And it's slowly growing faster than I thought it would. Oops. But yeah, you know, it's all a bit of fun. But it's a banging set. Destined Rivals, 11 out of 10.
Yeah, absolutely.
11 out of 10.
I support that.
11 out of 10. Now, we had planned to do a huge expose on Black Bolt White Flare. And we'd obviously delayed this episode, waiting for the reveals of more illustration rares and SIRs, which was technically supposed to happen now, and it hasn't happened now. So we're going to talk about Black Bolt White Flare and what we know. And then we are going to come back and do a episode where, similar to like what we did with Destined Rivals, I want to do the same thing and go through the whole set and just focus on Black Bolt White Flare. But for now, let's just cover sort of what we've got because it is going to be a holiday set. It is going to be disgustingly huge. I'm excited about it. If you liked 151, then you're going to love Black Bolt White Flare. So they're doing only the 156 Unova Pokemon, the Gen 5. Now, people go, why wouldn't they do Gen 2? You know, why go to Unova? And there's a reason why. Because Black Bolt White Flare, or Black and White, Gen 5, was created because Pokemon was in a hole. It was about to die. It was literally on its last breath. And they're like, all right, we need to relaunch this thing. So Black and White, Gen 5 introduced the most new Pokemon ever for a generation. They released 156 new Pokemon. XY, I think, only released like 72, and that was after it, right? So this was meant to restart it, like full restart Pokemon and set it up. And it did. People still think Black and White were probably the best video games they ever made. Like it's such a turning point for Pokemon, and so many people are unaware of like what I just said. And that's why I think they've gone back there. And you can start to see this nostalgia and this hype. And even people that don't know that much about Black White are looking at it going, man, these are sick. Like, I mean, Reshiram and Zekrom were probably the last legendaries that they made before they got a little bit, fruity. Like a little bit strange. Like Reshiram and Zekrom are these big dragon, aggressive looking Pokemon, and then they kind of went in a bit more of a different direction. So I think it hits hard, like Gen 5 in that sense, and I think that's why they've done it. I mean, the more you look at Black and White, the better it gets. And the other thing too is with and I'll mention it just while we're talking about, differences, is that Black and White had a very unique holo pattern, which was the vertical line holo pattern. And they've never reused it for any other set. And it's making a comeback for this set. So it's gonna be pretty nuts. But yeah. I kind of wish it wasn't a holiday set. Just because I want to do this set and I want to enjoy it. So it's gonna be tough work. But that said, hopefully it gets the kind of printing treatment that Crown Zenith got. Crown Zenith was, worth 30 cents to every dollar for the better part of, 2 to 3 years. And now it's going to the moon because everybody wants it. But we'll see how we go.
Yeah, I never played Black and White when it was current because that's when a lot of us moved out of Pokemon. So I like what you said earlier in terms of nostalgia, because what you're going to find is this Black and White set is going to bring in like the 23 to 26 year olds.
Yeah.
Because it's that next layer of nostalgia that are coming through. It's not the base set Charizard for them.
It's not us old blokes.
It's not us old blokes. It's the new one. It's always going to be an invasion of like the middle 20s, because this is their set. But, like I said, never played the games when it came out, but like that introduced like 3-on-3 battles, which was like huge. Like that was game breaking.
That's what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
That was the whole point of Black and White. They were trying to rejig it, revitalize it. We need to spark this back up because we are on our last breath.
Yeah. It was also the first and only game that all 156 Pokemon were the only ones in the game.
Correct.
So
which is why it's the same as this set.
There was no crossover of any other first 3 gens, 4 gens in there. There was none.
No.
It was, you had to play the game through entirely with all of these new Pokemon before you got like some of your old favorites in the after game. So
genius, man. And that's what I mean. Like people ask me, like, why do you like Black and White? I'm like, I like the idea and the story of Black and White, right? Like there's some Pokemon in there that I absolutely froth. Like Oshawott, legendary. I actually love Snivy and the whole line. Obviously Zekrom, Reshiram, Victini as well. Like these are iconic Pokemon. Even like Feebas and Milotic, that was meant to be like the Magikarp and the Gyarados. That's literally what that is, right? They took old ideas, but they just recreated them and said, we're not going to use anything we've done now. We're going to relaunch this thing, and this is what it is. And that's what Black and White was. And now it's coming back. Like...
yeah, it's a huge risk by Pokemon when you think about it. Like
it is, but they know what they're doing, and you actually just hit the nail on the head before. Like it's a $1 billion move for them to go, all right, we did the old blokes. Now let's do that. The new adult money generation, that mid-20s generation that now have adult money. Let's suck them back in. Like we just sucked in everybody that's in their, mid-30s with the 151.
Yeah.
That's literally why they've done it. They know what they're doing.
You sit there and go 152 to 249 at the end of next year. We're hyped. We're like, they've sucked us 35-year-olds straight back in now. Like,
I don't reckon they'll ever do it. I reckon they will.
At some stage, they will.
No, I don't think they will.
They will. It'll be a holiday set or something like that.
Nope. But I don't reckon they will. I reckon they did 151. Makes sense. You do Unova. It makes sense. That's it.
Okay. We'll wait and see.
That's it.
I tell you what, though, Destined Rivals has pepped me up a little bit about this, because when I heard that they're doing 156 illustration rares, one for every Pokemon, it's like, how the hell are you ever going to collect these? But with the hit rates in Destined Rivals, it makes me think that maybe you're going to have more enjoyment opening this set because there might...
There's rumors about God packs and stuff. The Japanese one's really interesting. So the Japanese set, as always, is 2 sets. It's Black Bolt, White Flare. But they have their normal booster box release, and then they have a deluxe booster box release. So the deluxe booster boxes is only 4 packs, but there's 35 cards in each pack, and you're guaranteed at least 1 illustration rare, or art rare, as they call them in the Japanese, per pack. So... what we've seen of the English release, there's nothing like that. It's normal. It's booster bundles, tins, poster collections, ETBs, all that stuff. But the Japanese one is really, really interesting in the way that they've broken it down into high class boxes, which are the smaller ones, deluxe boxes, and then the normal ones. So it'll be an interesting opening experience. We've got both of them coming on the way, which is going to be sick. But yeah, it's pretty nuts, man. Like realistically, this is the other thing too, right? So you've got the normal card variant, you've got reverse hollows, Pokeballs, Master Balls, and illustration rares. So technically, this set's going to be over 800 cards.
Yeah,
and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
You're going to do it.
I'm going to do it. It might not happen like within 3 weeks, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to make sure everybody knows I'm doing it so they can help me do it.
Maybe you could do a bind or fill video on something like that. That's
pretty hectic.
That's a set that people would love to see for sure.
Well, it comes out July 16th, so maybe we could do that at Collectfest in Sydney. That could be an idea for us up while we're up there.
That's a good idea. I don't. Yeah. Don't know.
That's all you got?
Well, I
really have to carry this bloke through every episode. So the other thing that Black Bolt, White Flare are bringing is these new rarities, black-white rarities. So it's the monochrome finish for Zekrom and Reshiram, which you can see here and here. They look phenomenal. I haven't seen a card that looks this good since they did it the first time. They've basically gone with the same sort of style as well. You know.
They've got the Victini as well, which we don't know how that's going to be placed in the English.
Yeah, we know it's a promo in Japan. We actually know. I don't think we know where that promo is in Japan either.
Yeah.
But yeah, there hasn't been any mention of it in English either. So it might end up being a Japanese exclusive. I don't know. I have a feeling that it was going to be something like a play promo, very similar to, remember the Get Rare set my Rayquaza came from that I told you about, where people had to go and do all these things and then go into a raffle to be able to get it?
Yeah.
I feel like I read something somewhere that said Victini is going to be similar. And if it is, it becomes an extremely expensive and rare card straight off the bat. So we'll have to just wait and see. But
Do you think that this collector packs where there's 35 cards in it versus normal, they've taken inspiration from Magic and what they've done in terms of collect? Because I feel like this is like a bit of a risk that they're taking, because
that's why they would risk it in Japanese and not in English.
Yeah, because if this works, do you reckon we'll see this for sets moving forward where there's a higher end product and just the stock standard? Because I'm not sure if I'm a fan of it, to be honest.
Yeah, well, we're going to find out. I've got a case of each coming, so we're going to open them and we're going to do it on Whatnot, and we're going to find out.
I don't know if those collector boxes are stacked, obviously, and there's guaranteed hits, and then the pull rates are maybe not as good as normal. It's going to devalue the price of the regular.
Well, here's the other rumor. The other rumor for the deluxe boxes is that there may be God packs. So imagine opening up a 35 card pack, and the first card you see is an illustration rare. Then you know. The next 35 cards are all illustration rares as well. Maybe some SIRs in there. Would that not be the greatest pack opening experience of your life?
I mean, it would be awesome in the time, but I just don't know what that means for the rest of the rest of Pokemon. If it's a blueprint they're going to do moving forward,
it won't be, because this is they always try this funky stuff on these like holiday sets. Like, look at the 4 gold cards from Crown Zenith. They haven't done that again. They did it just in Crown Zenith.
They had the arts, yeah.
You know what I mean? Where they were all similar, like basically in the same sort of cave, and they did that, you know? Like they test those things out. They have their tried and proven method, and they stick with that. But every now and again, they're going to, you know, throw caution to the wind and have a little crack and have a bit of a swing at something. So I think we've only seen like 17 illustration rares so far.
Yeah, there's not much. There's the 9 starters plus a few on the side as well.
Yeah, and we've seen the black-white rares that we obviously showed you just before in the Victini promo. But yeah, we're looking forward to coming back with a very specific episode. We're going to run through all 800 cards.
Mate.
I want to. Obviously, we're not going to go one by one. We'll probably look at, just all the better stuff, but it will be interesting because there still just isn't enough information out there. We were really hoping there would be, but we couldn't hold this episode off any longer. So we'll come back to you with a big black bolt, white flare, episode. But yeah.
And for like you referenced it earlier, that information was meant to come out this morning, which is why we pushed the episode back a week so that we could hit this announcement, and then it didn't come. So we've just had to go ahead anyway. So
we scrambled.
But
we should quickly talk about Legends Z2A as well, right? Because we've got a little bit more info on that. Actually, I've just pulled up something that's got the release. So June 6th is the Black Bolt White Flare for Japan. This is all Japanese releases. August 1st is Mega Brave and Mega Symphonia. So a lot of people are speculating that Black Bolt White Flare is the end of Scarlet and Violet. I don't know if it is. They haven't said that themselves. I don't know if these 3 mega sets that they're talking about may be the end of it instead. Because I don't think they're going to do a full mega generation again. They're probably planning something else. I don't know. Because we don't know what the next generation is yet either.
No, but I have seen that a lot of the Mega Evolutions are like similar to the first wave of Mega Evolutions.
They introduced a couple of new ones like, God, I can't remember. We've only seen Lucario and Gardevoir in official capacity, I think, so far. So they come out on August 1st, and September 5th, there's a couple of starter decks that come out. September 26th is Inferno X, which is meant to be the 3rd mega set, which has the Mega Charizard. It's back. We know he's back. There's always going to be a Charizard set. And then finally on October 16th, Legends Z2A is supposed to release the video game. So there's a lot of cool stuff upcoming in that sense. And so it's a very, very exciting time for Pokemon. But yeah, there's still so much we don't know, There's still so much that we don't know.
Yeah, and at the time of filming, everything will come out tomorrow. So you'll watch this episode and there'll be the announcement tomorrow.
We're probably the only blokes on YouTube that don't release a video the day after something happens. We're like, well, I'll take some notes and we'll get around to that in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Very, very casual podcast, the old hobby podcast, but we love what we do. We love what we do. All right. So that's going to be it, I think, for that, because we're going to do a big episode on it. People keep asking me to talk about it, and we will. We've touched on it now, but it needs probably an hour of its own time, kind of like what we did with Destined Rivals.
For sure.
So we'll move on from that. I think Kearnzy's going to hit me with the old blind ranking.
Yeah, so
we've got to name this segment. What are we going to call it?
We do. And I think the best thing to do is just let's go to the comments, guys. So for the second time this episode, we're going to ask you, we need a name on this segment.
Does Deano know or does Deano doesn't know?
Deano doesn't know, or
Deano doesn't know that Fiona and me do it in my bed every Sunday.
Deano doesn't know. Deano doesn't know. It's so last time, if you remember, I stitched you up massively. I gave you 5 cards that all had a difference of about $500.
It was ridiculous,
so
bro.
In hindsight, I mean, I set you up for fail on that one. But
and I think the other thing too is you've given me the prices. So what you need to do is give me all 5 cards, and I will put the cards to the price. Because you know,
let's do it. Let's do it 2 segments.
We did that last time and it didn't work.
Blind ranking, and then you can go and reorder if you want after, and let's see if you get.
All right, so I'll blind rank and then I can change them.
Yeah,
and when I've done all 5.
Yeah. Okay, you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm just going to get my thing up so I can write them down as well.
So you've got the 5 prices there that I've shared with you.
Yep.
Okay, so the first one is a Charizard PSA 9 first edition crystal holo Japanese.
These are English. These are AUD prices, right?
Yeah.
PSA 9.
PSA 9 first edition crystal Charizard.
That's right. They're all first edition in Japanese, so it's just a crystal holo Zard. I'm going to go 7,026.
Yep. All right.
You guys can hear my keyboard. How good's that?
That's all right. It's clunky, but we'll figure it out. All right. 1999 PSA 10 Gem Mint Giovanni's Nidoking. This is the Kori Kori promo Japanese card.
Are you going to tell me what the pop is on it?
There is no pop 34.
I'm going to say this probably is going to be number 5, so 5,800.
Yep. All right. Beautiful. Let's go. I'm going to change it up here. I'm going to send you this one.
Interesting. He's trying to get me, guys. He's trying to get me. He does it all the time.
All right. So PSA 10, Charizard, Poncho, XY Hollow, number 208, 216.
Yep.
That's the promo.
Yep, that's $9,678.
All right. Zard promo. Alrighty. We've got this card here, which you're awfully familiar with. So this is the Rayquaza EX promo. It is a CCIC 10 promo 2012.
Interesting. I'm actually going to say in that slab, this might be 7,650.
Okay. The Ray.
Beautiful card, though.
It is a very beautiful card.
Phenomenal card.
And BGS 9.5 Gem Mint Lugia First Edition Neo Genesis 9.5.
Oh.
Well, you've only got one spot, which
I
is...
do, but then I get to shuffle them.
You get to shuffle them after. So that's your blind ranking. Do you want me to tell you how many you got right and how many you got wrong?
Yeah,
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. All right. So at the conclusion of your blind ranking, you have 0 right.
Yeah, nice.
All right. Take two. Did you get... You've got all the photos. You've seen everything there. I'll send you the Zard as well, just so you've got the picture of that.
Yep.
All right. So now that you've got the cards, you know the prices. How are you going to re-rank them? Go top to bottom. What's the most expensive?
Right. The most expensive might have to be Lugia.
Are you going to lock that in?
Yep.
Lugia locked in at the most expensive. What is number 2?
Maybe the Poncho, Ray. Poncho Zard.
Poncho Zard.
Yep.
At number 2. All right. Number 3.
Then we'll go the Crystal Zard at number 3.
Right. Crystal Zard. Yep.
Then I'm going to have to move Nidoking up to number 4.
Yep.
And then somehow my Rayquaza ends up in number 5.
You reckon I've stitched you up with your Rayquaza being the card in the 5?
I'm starting to think so. Because maybe people have looked at that grade. Well, I don't know who that company is, but it looks like a horrible slab. So I don't know.
All right. Results are in. Deano. The most expensive card is the Gem Mint 9, the BGS 9.5 Lugia.
Okay, I got that right.
Tick. Number 2, PSA 10 Charizard Poncho card.
All right, 2 for 2.
2 for 2. Number 3, Giovanni's Nidoking.
Interesting.
Number 3. So that one's wrong. Number 4, your Rayquaza card, which leaves number 5 as the Crystal Japanese Charizard.
Interesting.
So 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5. Not bad.
Not bad.
It's that damn Nidoking, bro.
Yeah, I knew. I had to put something in there that was...
It's going to cook me.
You don't see that every day. And I like that you thought I did your Rayquaza dirty on that one.
Yeah, that makes sense. It fits the bill.
The bill.
Usually that's what you would do.
But first edition Lugia BGS 9.5, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a tough one, because ponchos definitely sell. PSA 10 ponchos definitely sell for that price as well. They usually trade at about 9 to 10 grand. And it fits in there. It's 8,975, technically under what you did. So you make it tough. But again, I think I'm always going to have a better chance if you tell me what the 5 cards are at the start, because that's proven, right? I got 2 right and then I was 1 off in the wrong spot. If I had to put the Nidoking in the right spot in the middle, I would have got the other 2 right. I probably would have put the Crystal Zard at the bottom and the Ray above it.
Well, yeah.
But I really just, that Nidoking's who wants that?
The Nidoking gotcha.
Not me. I don't want that card.
Definitely pick that one for a reason. So.
But I like it. It's a good opportunity for you to get one back on me and stitch me up, and you seem to enjoy it. And,
I mean, $5,000 difference between the 5 cards. I spread it there.
Yeah, well, I got 2 out of 3 right.
2 out of 5.
2 out of 5.
2 out of 5 right.
2 out of 5 right.
Not bad. But
2 out of 5.
Love that. Good work, Dean.
Thanks, mate.
That's an improvement on last time.
Yeah, I can't remember what I got last time, but let's not go back there. It was probably worse. It was definitely worse.
0.
Definitely worse. But oh man, that was a good app. That was a good app. We should probably talk about Collectfest because it's coming up.
Absolutely. 5th, 6th July, Melbourne. Huge. Booth locked in.
Yep.
Gary locked in.
Base set box.
Base set box. Openings on Whatnot on the Sunday with Deano.
Yep.
Locked in.
Yep.
Probably a lot of coffee. Locked in.
26th,
27th of July, Brisbane. We're flying up there. We don't have our flights or accommodation booked yet.
Yep.
But we will.
Yep.
So if you're up there in Brisbane and you want to hang out, just reach out.
So funny. You've got to go to Brisbane, fly back Sunday night. Monday morning, I fly to Chicago for a week.
That's a big week for you.
It took a lot of groveling to get the tick from my wife, but we got there.
That's a big
we're going.
Big week for you.
Going to the National.
Shout out to everyone too that used our promo as well to get 20% off their tickets. I heard on the grapevine that the code got used a fair amount of times. So
I did ask them for the official numbers. They're going to give them to me.
Yeah. So it was good to see people out there utilizing that. So thank you for that. Yep. And then 23rd, 24th is Sydney.
Huge.
So
huge.
That is, I'm excited. What are we like? Not even a month and a half away now.
Yeah, it's getting close, bro. We're like just over a month away from Melbourne.
Yeah. So we are going to get some hobby shirts made up.
We got a lot to do.
We've got a lot to do between now and then. But
yep.
Guys, like I said at the very start of the episode, make sure if you haven't followed or subscribed, you do, because we're giving away this at 1,000 members. Go comment on
1,000 subscribers.
Episode 22. It's the PAX vlog. You just got to go comment on that video and your entry is valid. So make sure you do that.
You also need to be subscribed.
Subscribed and comment on the video.
Speaking of hobby heroes, I want more calls. I'm sick of asking for it. You guys are really letting me down. I'm not happy. So what I'm going to do is give away this Journey Together Booster Bundle. Journey Together Booster Bundle. All you got to do is click the link in the description, call up, leave us a question, leave us an opinion. Just say g'day if you want. And then 3 episodes from now, everybody that called up is going to go into a little wheel. I'll run it live here on my phone. You can see it. Somebody's going to win and take that home. And the prizes are only going to get better. So get around it. We want to hear from you. We really, really do. It's fun, sharing our opinion with each other and putting it out there for you guys, but it's more fun doing it with you because so many of you actually come up to us and give us your opinions and chat about the podcast in person or on social media, but you won't ring up and leave it and I'll play it and we can talk about it. It's going to be great. Like, you all have a beautiful voice. Don't be scared to just call up and say how you feel.
Absolutely. And feedback is a gift too. Call up, get in the comments, let us know. Does Deano knows? Is it a segment that sucks and you actually want the Rumble back? Like, the
Rumble's hard. The Rumble is hard, though. It's hard to argue about certain things, especially when, we share the same opinion on so many things. That's why it was short-lived.
Yeah. I think it'll come back at some stage.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do like a Royal Rumble one time. I don't know. Rumble. And the punishment idea was hard without getting, too gruesome.
Yeah.
There's only so much sour spray we could milk for so long.
Yeah, or the chili.
Yeah, or the lime or whatever was going on. But yeah. All right, well, that's another one done. Anything else from you, Colonel?
I will pull a pendant from the new Flesh and Blood set. Mark my words. I'm locked in.
Good, because I'll buy it. But that is Wheels Up, and we are out of here, guys. We'll see you on the next one.